I thought it was going to automatically do it when we got to 0. I feel like I was expecting too much.
But we're here. We're live with an actual thing. So yeah. Look at our fancy overlay and everything. I've done it.
Oh, wow, that's genius.
The audio is working. And so the very first thing of our brand new stream was me going, I thought it was going to automatically play. I was like, I was expecting more from this.
It's fine. I'm not recording this one to rip the audio from it, so it's all good. I'll learn about doing that in a future date. I could probably download the VOD and rip the audio.
That's the way till we're a bit more...
a bit more professional.
Yeah.
So, hello everyone. Happy New Year and welcome back. We've had a little bit of a time off. And we're back better than ever. Ish. Adam has been working tirelessly in the past 5 minutes to get everything working.
I had everything looking pretty, I've just not quite got it working. However, I do realise that I think the chat function isn't working, so I'll worry about that for next week. So you guys can talk in chat.
That explains that weird box.
Yes, that's where chat should show.
If someone wants to chat at the moment, so there's probably...
I mean, I can try.
Yeah, sure, put something in. Right, give that a little minute, it should update. It does work!
Does it?
Yeah!
Hey, it doesn't work. Woo!
So,
although it's black text on a black background, Adam, it should probably be changed to white text for next time.
That's pre-made problems.
Oh yeah, I just apparently have a much longer delay than you guys do. Mine's only just popped up.
That's problems with the pre-made one, but it works.
Okay, that's something we can change though.
Yeah. Right, so welcome to the Titan Uranus 40k chat show. Live stream, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Podcast. It's a podcast.
As ever, I'm Karen, and I have a degree in arrogance. With me is Adam, as usual, with his A-level in technical difficulties. Joining us again this week is Nick, with his GCSE in using Imperial Knights. And finally, Ryan is with us for a change, with his, due to COVID, teacher-assessed pass grade in Tau Tactics, which is to mean nothing useful.
I should have that for knights.
That has some degree of usefulness. So I didn't actually tell them that I'd planned that, and that's a plan. I'm going to do some form of intro with a connecting theme.
I like it.
Sure, I'll allow it. For now.
What do you mean you'll allow it? This is like Ryan promoting himself to management.
I'm sorry, I don't see you guys taking control of the social media, which was severely lacking, might I add.
It was existent.
It was empty.
Just like Ryan.
Existent, but empty.
Existent, but empty.
I mean, that's just why you play Tau, innit?
Yep, you know it.
If anyone at home plays Tau and is feeling particularly victimised, good.
Nice.
So, boys, the revolution will be soon.
No one.
Yeah.
On your own.
Is a one-man revolution really a revolution?
Yeah.
No, it's some dickhead standing in a field with a sign.
It says, fish are people.
So, this week we have quite a wealth of topics to talk about. We've obviously got a couple things of note over the past 3 weeks to bring up. And then we're also going to, if we've got time, go over some of our future plans this year. Because as you may have already seen, we're going big this year. Ish.
Bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
Bigger
than we were planning on. Well, not planning, but bigger than we were expecting.
Yeah, which is to say that 2 is a bigger number than 1, but really not by much.
I mean, no, it's 100% bigger.
It is 100% bigger.
Again, having 2 M&Ms is 100% more than having 1 M&M.
Therefore,
does not mean you have a lot of M&Ms.
Yeah, but it's 100% better than it used to be, and that's what we're planning to be. We're planning to be 100% better.
That is some really. That is actually some really good growth.
Exactly.
It is 100% growth. It's 100% profit. Not in money, but in content.
Anyway,
whether it's content worth what?
So Nick,
we'll find
since
out.
You've not been on in a while, what do you want to go over first?
what do I want to go over first? How traumatic that entrance was. I mean, I'm still traumatized by knights, and you keep dragging it back up. It's like that wound was just healing nicely, and you've just gone and stabbed me again, right in the face.
With an
Completely
knife.
separate wound.
Would that be
With
an imperial knife?
Oh, very.
Oh.
I don't know.
Can we get a boo soundboard? Boo.
If I can afford
You know,
the day I can afford a stream deck, sure.
you know full well the second we get a soundboard, it's just going to be specimen.
I'm the only one with control over it.
All of us doing specimen.
Not
We
unless
just
any
need
of you guys want to
sexual
try and
noises.
manage. Not if you guys want to try and work out what the fucking mess I've been dealing with.
Honestly, I don't want to say I could do it, but I could do it.
I don't envy people who do this.
He sounds like he wants to volunteer.
No, I don't want to take it away from Adam. Adam enjoys it, I think.
I'm trying. We'll find out.
So what should we start with? Do we go for a little bit of for the boring stuff, a bit on the rules, or do we want to go straight in for a bit of hobby? Oh yeah.
Self-promoted captain, get on with it. You're the director. I'm just tech support. I say tech support.
No, you're the
tech
technical
failure.
difficulty.
I'm the technical difficulty where Ryan is tech support.
I'm tech support when you need help.
Right, okay, of course. I think we'll go chronological order. So I think the only major thing I can currently think of from the past 3 weeks is we've got a slightly amended release schedule due to Brexit and COVID. So we're getting a lot less released over, and it's a 2-week release period instead of 1. And we've been told we're getting a single codex or expansion for 40k per month. Which, I mean, it's nice on the fact that it's been pretty annoying how much the meta has been shifting, and no one's played any games. So
Yeah, this is true.
What? I'm not entirely sure how.
How the meta shifts? Who knows?
because those people over the pond have no regard for safety.
America.
This is true.
You. So yeah,
Oh,
that is good, but then there's less stuff coming out, which is boo. We know that in a week the Death Guard stuff's going up for pre-order, and presumably it means Dark Angels have been pushed back to February.
I've been pushed
Well,
back.
I might
or
just, yeah.
We might get.
But
them
you never know;
around
they
then.
might not
Just
see the
forgotten. Just
supplements.
forgotten. We'll just leave Dark Angels out of it.
No.
They've had to.
They can wait for the Chaos Space Marine Codex. They'll be in that.
Oh, you're a funny man, aren't you, fish boy?
Ryan's
Get
just
back.
jealous because he knows that the Tau Codex is going to be awful again.
Good.
It's just going to be pictures of goldfish balls.
It's gonna be 2022 before I get my Tau Codex. All right.
We're going to cut out. We're just going to cut out all the crap, and it's just going to be Codex Riptides.
I'd be okay with that. Give me some more Riptide variants, and I'll be all on it.
Nope, just for one.
Just the one. Well, what about the Yavara and the Ravara? Can they go in it?
No, because they're Forge World models. And we're not even going to have the Riptide keyword, so they can't even be used in Codex Riptide.
Oh no.
Those are just pretending to be riptides. They're not real riptides.
But yes, anyway, this also works as quite a good slide into the next topic, because with all the new FAQ and all the, in air quotes, adjusted points values that they've released today, we can actually see that in that updated document has all the points costs from the new Death Guard Codex.
Oh, does it? For the new one?
Yes. And there's a couple things of interesting note in it as well. The major one, they have 5-point cultists.
Interesting.
Currently, we can also see that Chaos Space Marines still have 6-point cultists, which is why I'm pretty sure the
That's
intent of that new PDF was if some of the codex armies that already have codexes, there's some minor points adjustments here or there. And if you haven't got a codex, it's just reformatting everything to the new points layout. Because for the love of Christ, Grey Knights still have to paint 4 points per model for a pair of factions. And so it feels like they've literally just formatted the old way in this new way and haven't changed any of the points, unless it just wouldn't functionally work. Which is good, because that new layout is so much easier to work out. It's just a shame no one actually writes pen and paper lists anymore.
Press battles.
They have also said that new PDF is going to be available with a White Dwarf later in the year as like a printout copy.
Fair enough. That's convenient, I guess.
It's convenient, but imagine if you bought chapter approved just for the points values.
That is true. That was kind of
It's completely invalidated it.
already.
Yeah, a little bit.
Again.
Yeah, but to be fair,
Isn't that
four of us
TW
need
in a
it.
whole?
Yeah,
Let's
but the
just get
four
that
of
one.
us need it for the actual tournament pack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, exactly.
Of
I
which
needed it to put me over £60 so I could get myself a fancy coin.
he's not lying.
I'm not.
I was
But
just thinking, does anybody buy White Dwarf anymore?
Well, the omission of fact from Ryan there was didn't just spend over £60, he ended up spending over 120.
I want both coins. All right.
Oh, no.
Due
bought
to my
some nib-
super
I
fab.
bought some knit stuff as well.
Yeah, that's immediately been put to one side apparently.
It's not even put to one side. I'm just.
Why would it have been put to one side?
Because he's not even doing nids for the snail pace.
God damn.
No, because I'd paint them too quick, so I wanted something that I could actually take my time with.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Just give me an excuse to do 2 no armies.
I know.
I guess that
It's fun
works.
doing
Sure,
that.
why not?
The only other real noticeable points changes, Inceptors, Outriders, and Eradicators have all gone up 5 points per model. Personally, felt a little victimized. Outriders went up 5 points. I feel like I can understand,
Were they actually
but it doesn't mean I'm happy.
turbo used?
I don't know if they were turbo used. They were one of those things where they're not outrageously broken. They were just a little points efficient. Which I think is that's kind of how you want every unit to be. Which obviously fundamentally wouldn't work.
Well,
but-
it would and wouldn't work, but yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
Eradicators, that 5 points really does not change anything. I generally do not think anyone cares about that extra 5 points.
They'll still be in lists.
Yeah. And I think, weirdly, the Inceptors is the nicest change. Because Blood Angel Plasma Inceptors were getting spammed a bit. Due to Descent of Angels
Why?
being a 1 CP plus 1 to hit.
What does that do? Sorry, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at Warhammer rules.
Plus 1 to hit. For 1 CP on a jump pack unit for Blood Angels. And so people were just dropping in like a unit of 5 Plasma Inceptors. And so they were getting like, I don't know, 10 D3 plasma shots hitting on 2s.
It's nice to see Inceptors getting back in, really.
Yeah, but I think they might start dropping out again now that they're 5 points more per model. Because it's as much as 5 points doesn't feel like a lot. In the case of Eradicators and Outriders, where they're usually taking in 3s, Inceptors were taking in 5, so it's actually quite bad. We're having minor audio issues.
Technical difficulties.
Right.
Again.
I don't think,
Basically,
I think just,
the
I don't
audio
know.
I was
seems
just
to be
thinking,
going
do we
out
think
fine?
it's just Adam?
The audio's going
Yeah,
out fine, that's okay. Coming through
I
my
think it's
headset,
just on.
you sound like Daleks.
I think it's you.
Give me a moment.
You're the Dalek. With great visuals comes a great price.
There we go.
Which
fixed
is why we're not actually we're not having to pay that high of a price right now.
it. Fixed it. It's all
Oh,
good.
Ben's here. Hey,
Can
Ben.
Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we
right,
can
I
hear you,
fixed it.
yeah.
I can hear everything again.
Can we
We're
all
good
just
to go.
agree next time? Next time Adam asks a question, can you hear me? Can we all just ignore him?
If you do that, I'll bring down the stream and play with fucking everything, so calm your tits.
I can't be. I'm just absolutely outraged right now.
Right, where were we?
Who knows? And
Descent of
Necrons
Angels
point
last time I checked.
judgments. Yeah, Descent of Angels and Plasma Inceptors was a bit good.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
No one cares that Eradicators are now 45 points for still ridiculously good. Outriders at 50 points a model feels a little on the harsh side. Because again, they're not... Of everything that needed points increases, I think it's more because White Scars are ruining it for everyone. Bloody White Scars.
Again.
Yeah, and then Necrons, here we've had two very significant points adjustments. The Canoptic Reanimator, which I think is universally agreed as the most worthless unit in that codex, has dropped from 110 to 80 points.
Quite a bit
So
drop.
now,
That's a really big drop.
but it's still pretty useless because it really doesn't do anything. And the Nightbringer, the most ridiculously overpowered of the Satan, but was the same points as the other two Satan, has gone up 20 points.
Well, it needed to go up, really.
He was very strong.
The issue is that 20 points does not make it any worse. He is still ridiculously good for 370 points. But it's the principle that he's not the same points as the Deceiver and Void Dragon. Because at the same points cost, there was no legitimate reason you'd use the Void Dragon or Deceiver. Potentially with Void Dragon, you'd rarely use a Deceiver anyway. So now that he is at least some points more, they've acknowledged that he is better than the other two. So, yeah. It just does not feel like it's going to stop anyone using them. Which, to be fair, is kind of what they're supposed to do with point exchanges. The point exchanges aren't to stop people using stuff. It's very much to
make
Balance
persuade
the
to
game
use it.
more, isn't it?
yeah. So that's the point exchanges, which, again, rarely any. They made a big fuss about it. I think there's some minor changes accidentally across the board. Like currently, Dark Eldar Reavers are 10 points per model. Down from 20.
That's good.
So they're
That's
currently...
really good.
Yeah, but
That's
currently the same points cost as a Witch.
Mm.
So,
But then that's the thing, the Codex is coming out shortly.
yeah.
So
it's almost definitely a mistake. Because I can't see them thinking, well, the toughness 4 with an extra wound, an actual armor save, and a 18-inch movement. I'm sure we should have them at the same points cost as a toughness 3, 1 wound, 6 armor save model.
why not?
So, then moving on to the actual rules changes of it, there is 2 major changes. Which, can you free list them?
Deployment. I've got one. Deployment for big things. Flyers.
Oh. I wasn't counting that as a major change. That
It
is
is a
a
major
change.
change.
It is from
Really
my Scion list.
It's a major change.
It's a change if you use
Because
flyers,
of
which is to say...
Ares Gate. As we know about the Ares Gate from a few months ago for Custodes, you couldn't fit it on the board first turn. And it was, can you still, obviously if it doesn't fit on the board properly for first turn, you can't use it. So it has to come on second turn, or it just sits there and doesn't move, which is pretty pointless really. But now it can start as long as the base fits in deployment. Wings can overhang, which is gravy.
I kind of assumed it could do that anyway.
No, weren't allowed.
That's
Not
kind of
in the,
how
not
I
in
think that's how we'd been
the
house
rules.
ruling it then, if that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it is actually officially allowed
Well, that's good.
because that was a big. There was a big discussion about this a while ago on some of the custody on sort of groups, and it was a big thing because you couldn't play any of the flyers because they wouldn't fit. Some of it wouldn't fit in the deployment zone.
I can see how that's a major issue for them.
But I mean, it's also going to help things like Adam said, with the Sion list, being able to fit all these flyers on the table in one turn in the first in deployment. There's
definitely armies that are going to massively benefit from it, but if you don't play with or against flyers, but it's still valid change. So that leaves one each to guess from Adam and Ryan.
Turns and objective scoring. That's one. That's changed.
I mean, I think that is both of the changes.
Oh, is it? Cool.
Yeah. Win roll, go first. It's not an option.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not an option anymore. If you win the roll, you're going first.
Yeah.
The way they were describing that change left me completely dumbfounded at what the hell they were thinking. Because I'll see if I can find the wording. Because it was just, I was reading it thinking, how is this the solution to what you've just said? How is it even relevant to what you've just said? Right. The first turn now always goes to the player who wins a roll-off. First few months of the new edition's missions made it clear that choosing to have the first turn is a much bigger advantage than just getting it on a roll. This also cuts down on the analyze paralysis at the start of the game and gets you to action a bit quicker.
It's true. Get the game going a little bit faster.
Yeah, a bit. But it's kind of
all of about maybe
usually
a minute tops.
Yeah, it's very rare for someone to actually think about what the hell they were actually going to do. So you don't. To be fair, it happens. It always happens. There's those people who basically stand there going, "Oh, do I want to go first or second?
Hello.
First or second?" And then they just stand there for 40 minutes.
But then they start talking about some toast that they had that morning.
Yeah, I had the Emperor on it. And then the toast started speaking to me and saying, "You should go second." But I'm an atheist, so I didn't like what he was saying.
This is all things I've heard Adam say before.
It is.
Oi.
This is just Adam playing games.
I feel attacked.
I feel attacked. I don't eat toast.
Oi, dickhead.
He probably doesn't.
You're offending my toast-based religion.
Toast has too much flavour for Adam.
He's a solid cold porridge kind of guy.
God.
No one's a cold porridge kind of person.
That's coming from someone who obviously is an expert in cold porridge.
Anyway, Warhammer.
Yeah, it's kind of going first is powerful, so I don't understand why making someone go first
makes a difference. Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, not many people really voted to go second, so I don't think it changes.
The thing is, I did. And I think a lot of the armies that are struggling at the minute opted to go second. Dark Eldar tend to want to hide first turn and then go second. And it just feels like you're removing a little bit of flexibility, but you're not getting anything.
Yeah, I don't know how long that'll stay in. They'll probably take it out after a few test games in America.
Potentially. And then I think the reason that is brought in is to offset the power of the second major change. Which, Adam, if you want to go for it.
Being... If it's the one that I think it is, because it's almost like we haven't planned anything. The one that I think it is that primaries are not scored at the beginning of battle round, but beginning of player turn.
No, that's not even what changes.
Well, that's how I read it. Then I've got something wrong. Clarify.
So to clarify, if you've gone second on the last turn of a game, you score at the end of the player turn.
Oh, got you.
So essentially what it means is on that last turn, the person going second has free reign to try and score points. Which is actually pretty damn powerful.
Yeah, it is.
As long as you are still alive, which is
Not so
very much something. It's not particularly easy. You could potentially move models and score 15 points. And it kind of means that I think that is where the real...
So you don't
not
that one. You don't
getting
score it at the beginning of the battle round. You score yours at the end of the battle round for
Yeah.
the final turn.
And so,
It's only for the player who goes second.
yes.
So it's still a dead turn for the player who goes first. Other than denial.
No, because in their turn, they can score points at the start of their turn. And then
And then they have
try
to play
and...
their turn.
Then, yeah,
in
to
pure
try and
denial.
stop... Yeah. Which, it actually give... Quite a lot of the times, you can tend to find games where there's no point playing up the last turn.
Yeah.
Because quite often, people will... Like, just
You
talk
can
out
work
that
it
last
out,
turn.
can't you?
Yeah.
You can work out how many points you're going to get, but I
Unless
mean,
it's like a nail-biting close game, you can usually just talk it out. Well, this does mean that you're going to have to start playing those last turns out, which is a positive change.
It's a positive for gameplay and negative for speed of tournament.
I mean,
If
Yeah.
you're someone like... Well, to be fair, it's never going to be a problem for me, because I never make it to that final battle round.
no, the round ends before Battle Round 3.
Usually halfway through battle round 3.
I'm pretty certain Johnny doesn't even realise that the game's supposed to have Battle Round 4 and 5.
Oh.
So, I think that slightly wraps up. There's a couple other minor changes. Some of the secondaries have been made a little harder, like Bring It Down and Pour the Witch. But
Which I'm happy about the change for, specifically bringing it down, given the list that I'm working on.
I mean, I don't, because it kind of feels like there's already far too many really hard to score secondaries and not many ones
Yeah.
you want to take. And from my experience playing and seeing people play games, it wasn't dissuading people from bringing lots of vehicles and monsters. People were doing it anyway.
Now they're
And
just
it's not like-
encouraged, as
Yeah,
opposed to
a pub
dissuaded.
which needed changing, because it was, if you played Thousand Sons or Grey Knights, you max scored it. There was almost no way in hell you could not max score it. But even if you played against someone who you could get a max score and bring it down, it was far from guaranteed. You had to really dominate armies to max score it.
There's a lot of work to put in.
And I feel like there needs to be secondaries where you can look at it and go, right, I can do that. Even if it's sort of hard. It's just a lot of the secondaries. You don't look at it and go, I can do it.
Yeah, it's just not
It might
worth
just-
it.
I've got to do some work to do it. A lot of them you look at and go, I'll have to be damn lucky if I can max score that. Hello? Is someone
Hello.
dropped?
Oh,
We're still here.
That's Nick dropping.
Oh, is Nick gone?
Nick just dropped, yeah.
He
So
might
we'll-
be back.
We'll have to continue without disconnecting Nick for now.
I'm back.
Oh, Nick's
He's
back.
Don't know what happened there, but I'm back. Um,
Professional streaming.
I think it was the internet. Oh,
I
magic.
thought you were just like trying to like disguise a fart or something.
I think it was Wizards. Wizards got into my computer and wizarded up at things, and it kicked me out.
Oh, you know, I'm a weird kind of nerd when he said wizard. I
I immediately went
like
Wizards
thought
of the
of a
Coast.
computer wizard. No,
I thought
a
a Wizards
computer
of
wizard like downloading something.
See, I went to Wizards of the Coast, and I was very
Yeah, I
confused
thought
at why
Wizards
the
of the Coast
developers
as
of
well.
Magic the Gathering and D&D are inside your computer. Different kind of nerd.
That's because I'm waiting for the old world.
The old
So
world.
finally, well, semi-finally, because they kind of all go together. We've got our future plans and some of the things that we are expecting
Oh.
or hoping to try and do this year.
Well, it sounds like Ryan's waiting for Father Christmas again.
This is the big thing.
Because
Here's
Ryan has
when
a
we get
very
new models.
special.
Special
Ryan
place in his
has a very
trial.
special relationship with Santa. There was an instant when he was younger involving sitting on Santa's lap.
How did I know?
Keep
It's
it
actually
PG.
Karen's lap.
Keep it PG.
No,
Swearing's
no,
fine.
don't touch me there. This is my no square.
Well, the issue is Ryan used to have very long hair, so he probably confused poor Santa. And
As
either
everyone in the chat can
mentally
see.
scarred Santa or awoken something inside him.
Anyway, plans for this year.
Not
Who
much.
wants to... I was planning on getting dressed at some point.
Well, I mean, we'll be in lockdown, out of
I mean-
lockdown eventually.
Yeah.
You're a university student. You're just getting,
2023.
you're getting bent over and like your Uranus tightened by the government, basically.
Well, I mean, on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, because I don't live in student accommodation, nothing's different for me.
That's fair. Except you don't
I-
travel to lectures anymore.
I've
You don't
got.
have to travel all the way to lectures anymore, so it's probably actually better for you.
It is actually, yeah. I've got 3 exams, 2 next week, 1 the week after, and so in the past 2 weeks, I've just been making a notebook filled with everything I need to know for the exams because it's online, so I can
Not cheat.
participate in the exam and have a wealth of notes to revise from beforehand.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
I am
what was the
incredibly disappointed.
2K snail pace? Come on.
Snail Pace 2K race. You've got to.
Yeah, the Snail Pace
Rhyme.
2K race.
Snooky,
Yeah.
Tookie, Pookie
go.
race. Yeah,
What?
Adam is
yeah.
having a stroke.
I'm incapable of saying many words quick succession. That
The
sound
stress of
properly.
trying to get the stream to work has just fried Adam's brain.
I wish
Which
you were wrong.
was already lightly toasted beforehand.
With the a burn of the Emperor on it. Was telling him to murder people.
Anyway, back on
We're going to
topic.
be first.
So, because I feel like no one else will introduce it, our Snail Pace 2K race is a slightly different take on the usual attempt to do a New Year, New Army and Taylor Gamer style thing. So, quite frequently in the past, a lot of us have tried to do the natural and quite well-known style tail gamers where you have a month to paint 500 points, for example. Except no one ever had the drive to get 500 points painted in a month, and even if someone did, they'd never do it a second month. We even tried it where it was a unit a month, and I think of the 20 people who said they wanted to do it, the first month was a HQ. 5 people painted their HQ.
What was this one for? Sorry, was this
The heresy one.
the
This
heresy?
is a heresy one we did. Yeah.
I got a HQ out on that one.
I couldn't afford to
And-
at that time. I was very much out of a job.
And about 4 people, I don't even think it's 4 people, 1 or 2 people got a unit painted.
I don't.
Phil managed to get a unit.
I didn't. CJ did.
2.
I think it's because CJ didn't actually get informed that everyone else had given up. So CJ was just painting away.
He's like, gotta get this done, otherwise I'll be the
Good-
only one who
good on
doesn't do it.
I think he did a rhino as well. He moved
Yeah, he
on
did.
to the 3rd stage.
Yeah, I remember him saying.
Good on him.
Well, the
We can
first thing
buy-
wasn't it, Rhino? Wasn't that like we said we were doing stretch goals? Because my stretch goal was going to be the unit and then the transport if I got it done in time. It was a stretch.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's what it might have been.
Hey, do you want to become famous? Question mark. You can buy followers, primes, and viewers on this dodgy
Oh,
looking
yeah.
link.
Working
We're
on.
gonna make
Price
it big,
followers.
guys. See, that is not even our fault. That tangent. That was G Powell 198364.
It's a
Thank you
bot.
for.
It's a bot. I'm in the process of removing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What if they're just trying to do us a favor?
No one
Yeah, but
types like
it's-
that trying to do anyone a favor.
I mean,
Yeah.
you do.
No, I just can't type. They're different.
He's got all these special characters in it that I'm confused about because I just thought it was muck on my screen, so I was trying to rub it away. Before I realised it was weird characters. Ooh, what's this muck doing? Anyway, so the thing that we're doing special about this is instead of it being up a normal Tale of Gamers where you've got to paint a fast attack in a month or a character in a month or something like that, we first of all set our own. We paint what we want. And we have whatever time frame we want. We don't have to set one. We can set our own personal challenges. But the general goal is to aim towards painting a 2,000 point list. And instead of it, to give some drive, it's sort of like a mini race. And because it's entirely done on your own personal thing, someone could have already painted 6 units in a character, and you could have not even finished the first character, Adam.
It started.
And so it really removes the pressure that I think a lot of people it drove people to give up on the other ones because it was kind of, I can't get a unit painted this month, so I'll just drop out. And so there was no downside if you wanted to spend 7 months on a character.
Other than
It'd
you'd
still be
lose the
part-
race.
You'd probably lose. And the only real rule is obviously there's going to be mitigating circumstances in every situation, but you're only supposed to be painting 1 unit at a time or 1 box at a time. As we're kind of finding out, I might have to break that rule because I have a goal that is currently not turning up that I've ordered, and I'm going to give it a couple of days, and if not, I'll have to move on because I won't be able to finish my first model without it.
I
no
very
point
nearly
like
spent
a
a
week.
lot of money on
There's no
paints the
point
other
doing a
day for
week
this.
with like no progress.
Yeah. So
Is that how that's supposed to work? Is it, Ryan? A week
Yeah,
of
there's no
no
point-
progress.
There's no point doing weeks of no progress just because he's waiting for a paint.
Oh, just for an actual reason. Got it. So weeks of no progress for
Yeah.
no reason's totally okay.
no.
I mean, if your reason is you don't want to take part.
So
No reason
the
is
main goal of this is to see if there's currently 7 of us that will be posting somewhat regular updates on the Titan Uranus page.
Six that will be posting somewhat regular updates. 1 that might be there
As
every
a-
now and again.
And if anyone would like to take part at home and send in their pictures to the page, we'll probably do like a monthly roundup at the end of it where we'll show off some of the models that have been sent to
Yeah.
us.
And what we could also do is, if Adam can figure out the technical whistle for it, we could feature it on the podcast, on the stream as well.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that'll be, and we'll just make a video loop for it and insert the video loop in at some
Yeah.
point. That requires me putting a lot of effort into it, but sure.
Well, I mean, I could create the video loop and then you can.
Oh, that's fine.
put it
I've,
into-
I've been playing with Vegas for one of our other projects that we might mention later, and I've got it almost working.
Okay.
I'll rephrase that. I've got it working. It just, I'll show you guys the
you're
results
learning
at the
how to
end.
use it.
I'll show you guys the results as it stands at the
Okay,
end.
that sounds like a good plan.
Hang on a minute, what? I missed that. I was too busy seeing if I could get some followers, primes, and viewers.
Did you actually click the link? Oh,
No, I didn't click the link.
Good.
But I was looking at it and completely spaced out for a second.
So the teaser project, I've been playing in Vegas with it, and it's almost done. I need to add a voiceover, and then that might actually be presentable.
I'm scared.
Well, to give some context, on New Year's Eve, I thought, because we weren't doing a live stream, I'd try and make a video of some of the stuff we were planning on doing in the new year. Just like a really quick and silly video. Except the video editing software I'd used before was on like a free trial that had run out. The thing I had to download in its place, I just could not figure out how to work on such short notice. So I just kind of abandoned it. But I'd mentioned it to Adam. I want to try and learn how to do this editing stuff. So if you send the stuff to me, and so I did.
7 days
Yeah.
later.
So it's just kind of a test project, and Jesus Christ, is it awful? I also sent all
You've not
the.
seen it yet.
Yeah, but I recorded it, Adam.
Exactly. This is what
There's-
editing does. Editing takes shit and makes it into shiny shit.
I'm excited to see this now.
I am
It's
as
a-
well.
It's missing.
I will say at the same time, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Be very prepared to be very disappointed. It's missing the voiceover, which is kind of the bit that makes it work. But I need to work out how to record that. So.
Are you gonna try and put it on the stream, or are you gonna?
Oh no, I'll
Just
show
show
it. I'll show it to you guys afterwards. I'm not playing with anything after
Okay,
the
yeah.
hassle I had getting this working.
Anyway, so if you currently go over to the Facebook page, we have a sort of introductory post. I'll need to make sure to pin it. People can find it a lot easier.
Yes.
Um, and basically use. I didn't know where that sentence was going. I just did a bit of a brain fart.
Good job.
So yeah, we're all, I believe, currently working on stuff. I think it's the most productive most of us have been in a while.
I've done
Well, I
something.
didn't really take part. I didn't really take part in this whole thing until during 2020. I was kind of a bit occupied with not doing it. But as I said, 2021 is the year of my engagement. I'm going to jump into this like head first. And
I mean, it was originally
really
intended to
get
be
it
aimed
before.
towards hobby shit, but sure, that works too.
So
Nice
if you
to
guys
see you,
want
List.
to kind of go through what your plans are for your particular armies.
Shall I start it off?
Yep, go ahead.
I mean, anyone.
Yeah, sure. I shall. Agree. So, there was an essay which was part of that post that I wrote, and glad to see everyone stuck to the same level of effort.
I'd like to point out the request was a couple sentences on why you're doing them and what your goal is, not an essay.
You will write your dissertation, and your mindset will change. And you will hate your life for it. Anyway, yes. So, current plans are Iron Warrior Demon Engines because they're cool. Is the short answer. And then we spoke about it, and there's a chance that it might actually work, like as a somewhat competitively viable thing. So I currently own.
We know that demon engines are getting better.
Yeah, from the Death Guard. Obviously, we didn't know that when I'd committed to doing it. It was an
Adam,
excitable bonus.
just pretend like you did, and you can either seem prophetic or very good.
It's a bit late. now.
Admitting
had to
that you
cla-
don't know anything is just making you seem shit.
No, it's not that we didn't know anything. It's that we knew they were already okay. They then got a buff, which makes them better. They're different things. There was always a chance that it was going to be somewhat doable because it's big stompy things go burr. And now big stompy things go burr more efficiently with 7 more R's. The actual list itself's still up in the air, other than it's definitely going to be a Disco Lord and 3 Forge Fiends and a Master of Possessions. Everything else is kind of floating around, waiting for that new book and points to come out so I can solidify the end goal of the project.
5-point cultists.
5 points. That saves me all of 30 points. Actually, that's quite a bit.
My list is now over 30 points because of the marine changes. So I wish
good.
I'd
Ben-
saved 30 points instead.
But yeah,
Ben's asking if you're going to have Havocs in the list.
not this time, I don't think.
Wow, he's rejected your Havocs. I wouldn't take that.
I think there's going to be a
I
blip.
thought that worked really well last time.
It worked perfectly last time, didn't it? All that converting
salt.
work I went into to make them work.
No Stolt was found anywhere.
Don't know what you're talking about. But yeah,
They'd all been consumed by Adam's inner hatred.
currently owned is a Disco Lord. His mount is built and sprayed. Progress.
That was like a week ago.
Yeah, I've not touched it since then.
This is true.
I've done work on your stream stuff. This is your problem as well now. And then I went to go buy loads of paint yesterday and was talked out of it because I realised I was going to spend too much money on paint.
What?
Who talked you out of it? Because I remember when we were talking about it, I was talking you into it.
Yeah, I was about to go and spend 300 quid on paint, which was a really bad idea.
How?
That's a lot of paint.
That was
Scale
it was
75
the
complete
entire
set.
scale 7, yeah, like every scale 75 set was a bundle for like 350 quid
Yeah, it's a shame. Element Games. It was
out of stock.
It wouldn't have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have been dispatched like March, I think.
June.
Otherwise, he probably would have done it June even. But to be fair, it was like 120 quid off, so it was only like £2.30 a paint, which was pretty good. It's just a lot of money to drop in one go.
That's £2.30 per paint.
That I will never open.
Adam, I doubt you
First-
ever open many of your paints.
Oh, they all get opened, looked at, and then put back in the packet.
Have you not grasped the concept of see-through plastic yet?
No.
'Cause you can see what colour the paint is from the outside.
Shush.
You don't have to open it.
See, Adam's one of those particular people that likes to taste the paint before using it.
It means my models are delicious when you decide to put them in the oven.
He had too many Skittles when he was younger, so he just took the taste of rainbow to everyday life. That's what he wanted to do when he was older.
Well, I mean, when you're cleaning your brush and that, do you not all taste paint once in a while?
Yeah.
No,
Too
my
often.
brush is clean
Scale-
after I clean my brush.
Scale
we-
75 paints are fucking rank.
They are pretty bad.
I mean, are they as bad as Agrax? Agrax is quite possibly one of
Yeah,
the worst.
no,
tasting
no,
paints
seriously.
ever.
Weirdly,
It's because they're pigment.
Every-
They're like super pigment heavy paints.
yeah,
So,
every Scale 75 paint seems to have the same taste,
well, that's an
and
improvement
it's
over.
vile.
However, I don't think it's quite. It's not. Is it like? I haven't worked out if it's worse or better than the old school, like Thraka Green and Bal Red and Ashman Blue.
Ashman blue. The thing
Ashman
is,
blue
they
is the worst.
smelt bad. They
And
smelt
tasted
really bad.
awful.
The taste was not awful. Here's where we got to, guys. We're officially comparing paint tastes.
I can't believe you said that was old school.
I say old
Young-
school.
Yeah.
young kids.
Yeah,
To be fair,
actually,
they are like 15 years old now. Maybe not
Yeah.
15, but
Yeah.
not far
Jeez.
off.
they were out of
Yeah, they-
production about 8+ years ago, I think.
See, I go
Maybe
further
more.
back than that. I go past the. So what was the ones before that? Was it the bullet ones? The ones that look like little bullets? And then there was the hexagon ones.
I've got a couple of the
Uh,
hex spots lying around.
And there
Yeah,
was
the hex spots are cool. I like the hex spots.
and there was the round pots, which was probably well before any of you were even born, I would have thought.
Oh,
Possibly. Thing is, as a slight tangent, I was working at the Warhammer store in Grimsby, and someone came in and basically was saying that they were the original manager of the shop when it opened.
Was
And
it
so, I never got his name, but we managed to work out that the shop opened in October 1998.
That shop is
Yeah,
1
that
year
sounds
younger
about
than
right.
me.
That is older than I am. By 3
I
years.
am a month older than that shop.
So you have
Because the thing
almost
is, I-
literally spent your entire life in there.
No, I wasn't born in it.
I wouldn't,
I
be,
didn't- I wasn't-
I wouldn't be surprised
wasn't
the amount
at
of time you've
grand
spent
opening.
in there.
But I've known for a while that it was opened in 1998, but never known exactly when. And so I've always just kind of been telling myself, yeah, I'm older. But without a precise date, I'm born 9 months in. So it was quite unlikely I was older. But I am. And that's
Just.
what matters.
I'm younger,
Anyway,
and I'm okay with that.
after Adam's essay, person 2 take charge.
Ryan, go.
Okay, guess I'll go. So I'm doing Mechanicum, which is cool. Mainly just because, well, actually it was a one-day kind of decision after me and Karen was talking about the army, and me and Karen have this bad relationship where we make each other spend money.
Yeah.
That's also how we ended up buying like 5 badges in one day.
I've not even done anything with those badges.
Are the
Spent
badges
like
still in the
20 quid on
store?
badge-
No,
me and Ryan bought
emptied the box.
Because I was going to get one.
I just wanted to know what was inside them.
I only got
Badges.
one duplicate. Out of all the ones I opened, I only got one duplicate, which I'm pretty impressed with.
Can I acquire the duplicate? I've got a collection of pin badges I need to add things to.
It is a Mechanicum one, so yes, you may. If you'd like
Fine. It can go. It can join my pin badge collection. Where's the bag?
Feel free.
Somewhere over there.
So the main theme of the main plan of the army, I'll get back onto topic now. Is I want it to be kind of like a mobile, but also like mainly firepower. I'm not kind of going into that combat thing because it's bad. But I want to keep the mobility.
So like
I
your
want
Tau
to keep the
then?
mobility. Yeah, but I want to keep the mobility a little bit more than when I play with my Tau. But that's probably just because I play them badly. So I'm only having like two. I think I'm having like 2 units of Rangers at the back with the arquebuses. And like some Vanguard going up front. But then I want to use the horse people just because they're really cool.
They are really
Don't
cool.
ask me their actual name. I don't know their names, but they are really cool.
Are you going to use the...
There's something
Taurasi
sulfur
as well.
hounds and
I like
Someone
the wing guys, but I mean, I think they're good. I don't know how I feel about the poses on the models, but I can get past that.
Well, I mean, if you buy it and
Get
build
30
something,
of
you
them.
can sort them out.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's go.
I don't know how customizable they are. I might have to do some chopping up to make them decent.
I mean,
We shall see.
because they're not Marines, I feel like it's going to be quite awkward to try and... It's not going to be as simple as reposing them.
Yeah, no.
Because it's something only Space Marines are allowed now. Posability and customization.
And even then, that's going away.
And what is your goal, Ryan?
My goal is just to paint an army for once in my entire life.
You're not a hobbyist if you've ever completed an army.
I have. Actually, technically I haven't.
Exactly.
I've still got a Tomb Spider and 2 Crypto Thralls to paint for my Necron 2K army. I've painted 27 other models that aren't in the army list. I've just not painted those last 3 models, which would probably take me like 2 days to do. And I just cannot be bothered at the minute.
Well, I started with a start collecting box. That's usually a good place to start. So I painted the Tech Priest engines here. That's finished, as everyone has seen.
Oh, I removed that post.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I should have done.
It was also posted to Instagram because, I actually do things.
Yeah, I saw that.
And now I've started working on the Dune Rider out the kit.
How's that going?
It's hell because there's so many crevices and I'm kind of like... I'm not washing it, I'm doing the recesses with a darker green, with Nocturne green. Instead of like using a wash. So it's taken me a while. And I hate every second of it. But it's looking good.
I think it's one of those things you kind of have to... You do it over multiple painting sessions. You sit
Exactly,
down,
yeah, that's
you
what I'm
paint a
doing.
couple of recesses, you get up and leave.
I'm about a third through painting the recesses so far. Pretty good.
It does not stand very far.
Is this, is this on a unit? Or...
No,
No.
this is for one vehicle.
But you are still currently winning. You're the only one who's actually finished their first turn.
Something. Yeah, this is being the lead for once.
I'm provided I get a gold paint, I'm only a couple days behind you. I should be done in a couple days if my gold appears.
I thought you
Yeah,
bought
the
the
only
gold
thing I've
set
been
a while
working
ago.
on.
I thought you bought the full golden set.
I did, and it doesn't include this gold. It includes a rose gold, a green gold, and a very, very aged-looking gold, but not a very
Gold.
bright gold.
God, you want.
Fair enough.
Yeah. bit annoying.
Yeah.
And
And
it
then
still
the other
hasn't
thing I'm
turned up.
working on is something that's not really part of the army, but kind of will be. It's just for taking pictures. I'm working on like a backdrop, scenic backdrop, just for taking nice pictures, using some terrain and
Ooh,
stuff.
fancy.
So, weirdly enough, I've decided to go with Age of Sigmar terrain because it's what I own and I don't want to buy anything.
That's the spirit.
Yep. I don't want to spend money on terrain, so I'd rather buy more Mechanicus once I finish what I've got.
Right. So, thank you, Ryan. Nick, take it away.
I'm doing Eldar. For some of you may have seen the Warp Spiders that have been posted on the page. Just because Eldar, why not? Already planning to try and get 1,000 points done for the Grim Dice painting competition, but we'll see how that goes. But so I might end up winning the painting thing, but well, our 2,000 point painting. I mean, maybe I could just pay a Titan. That'd do, wouldn't it? That's 2,000 points.
I was trying to think of what is the smallest model count army you could have by like just paying for such ridiculous and unnecessary war gear options. I think you could probably have a 200 plus point chapter master.
I imagine my Demon Engine list isn't actually that far behind it in model count.
Just get custodes.
I'm familiar with.
You get about 4.
Custode Dreadnought.
Guys,
Yeah, the Custody Dreadnought list. Done. You're not gonna beat that. Like, treble Telemon and a Shield Caps, and you already got like 1,500 points.
Pretty much that's all right.
I mean, Nick would win with just I've got a Revenant. Although I feel like I would say that it wasn't an army.
It's a super heavy detachment. It's technically an army.
Technically is, yeah.
There you go. Might do that.
It's a whole detachment.
If I could be bothered to strip it. But yeah.
Well, I
See,
feel like it's better.
It's an
paint while clothed.
eBay recovery job. It's an eBay rescue job. Needs a little bit of TLC.
Ah, it's one of those jobs.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it is better to paint while clothed.
Oh, for God's sake.
That was bad.
It was also very late.
Somebody kick him out.
If it wouldn't mean I had to edit the overlay, I would do.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Nick?
To be fair, I'll probably end up with having 3 different Eldar armies, just because Harlequins and Dark Eldar and Craftworld. Start with a Craftworld and work your way through.
We'll just say Yinari for now.
Yinari, bit of everything. Yeah, but they're not red. I'm not doing them red yet.
For now.
They don't have to be red to be Yinari.
Yeah, well, I mean, it goes with the story, doesn't it? They all paint their armor red, don't they?
I think that's just a particular. There's all sorts of different colour schemes.
Is there?
Yeah.
Like Ulthway.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Got-
think Ulthway's colour scheme is used, but it might be.
Well, to be fair, Eldrad, yeah, there's another reason for Eldar. Eldrad's just the boss.
Yeah. It's such a nice model as well. It's
That's
quite
true.
awkward to put
Yeah,
together.
the new model. The new model is really nice.
It's like it goes together fine, but then the staff is supposed to be like inside the robes.
That's
at
the
bottom,
yeah.
in the-
That was the weird thing I didn't understand. His stuff like tucks in underneath his belt through his robes, and a little bit weird. Didn't get that, but yeah, still
Up through
cool
his
model.
butt, out his nose,
I didn't realise
doing a little
Vlad
curve
was
around his
involved.
other arm.
Through Titan and Uranus.
Oh dear.
Dog
well,
planet. Like, they are the best planet and moon. They're not even related,
It'll do.
but they are in our hearts. Because Titan is
Uranus is in your heart.
My anus is in the heart. Yeah.
I think he's got a
biology
problem.
lesson, mate.
Who's anus?
Uranus.
My anus.
Yeah.
Oh, God, here we go.
So I've gone with everyone's favourite, and by everyone's favourite, I mean my favourite. It's not even my favourite. Angels and Carmine. So that other Blood Angel successor. They are very much almost identical to Blood Angels. They're a slightly darker red, and they have black backpacks and shoulder trims. But then the main visual difference in the army is a Sanguinary Guard are white, and that's kind of why I like them. I mean, the Death Company are also white, but I'm not planning on using any for the minute. And I just kind of wanted, I just really wanted to try and take my time and getting a very nice looking competitive army. I've even done stuff like freehand and dust, done all sorts.
Yeah, this is insane. It's insane. Nice.
I've only
I don't
seen
think I even-
one panel so far.
I forgot because I didn't actually. I sent some people the video. I didn't actually send it to Titan Uranus. I'm gonna do that now, so you guys can see it.
Yeah,
But I took a video.
Live
The reason I didn't.
feed.
Yeah. Because it annoyed me because the bike, the wheels are separate when you're like putting it together, and there's like pegs that they go on. Except it's like instead of just being a completely round peg, it's got like a flat side, so the wheel's supposed to only go on one way.
Yeah.
Except it has a degree of movement. And then there's pegs on the bottom of the bike, on the bike wheels, that slot into the base. So I thought, right, okay, I'll glue it all on, and I'll let it dry in the pegs on the base, but not glue it on the base so that I can still paint the base separately and stuff. And I did that. And so then I painted all the bike, I painted all the base, and when I came to put the bike on the base, they didn't line up in the slightest. Like,
What?
massively off.
How?
I have no idea.
That
I'm
does
just
look really nice though.
It does look incredible.
I'm really proud of it so far. I'm more than a little bit stressed out because I will post it up when it's finished. I kind of want to get it finished because as it stands, the main issue with that video, which is what I was very slowly getting to, is there's a gap between the front wheel and the base, like it was floating slightly.
Oh yeah,
So I
just saw that.
I just put a bit of sand around it to kind of disguise it a little bit, and the sand hadn't been painted when I took the video. It's been painted now, and so it shouldn't be obvious.
Yeah.
Other than Ryan saying he just saw that.
Yeah, so I actually mentioned it though. I didn't see it until you'd mentioned it. So it's not obvious in the video.
Yeah, so I'll post a video probably when I've finished. But it's there's all sorts of things I've either very rarely done in the past or never properly done, like the freehand. It's like on both sides, I went through a ridiculous amount of effort to remove, because it had a sculpted skull with like a halo around it. I've removed that, had to fill in the gap from where that was, to then freehand a blood drop and a bat wing on the side. And I had to do it on both sides. I wet blended it so that it's not flat. I then dry brushed on some like dust effects. It's one of the first basing things I've done in a very long time, which is not grey.
This is true. It is.
And also, I think it's the
hadn't noticed
first
that until
ever
you
model
pointed it
I've
out.
done where I've not painted the rim black either.
They didn't even like
No, I don't
shout out
want
to
that.
people. Yeah, it's not black.
So,
black or green. They're your two choices. Or blue if you
Yep.
Jim.
But it's brown.
Should have
Right.
not Gobbo green.
I actually
Yep.
use an off grey. I use an almost black grey for mine.
Why?
No, it just looks nice.
You know what else looks nice?
Or is it because you don't have any black?
black?
No, I have like 4 different makes of black paint, and I hate all of them.
I want to try Vallejo because I just cannot stand Aberdeen black.
I've got one, and it dries really glossy. Well,
Does it
Gloss
say
is like-
gloss on it?
it doesn't. this is the standard. I don't want to say the name of it because it's not really appropriate. But
I know what you mean.
I hate Player. Just that one name and making you say it.
Yeah, I'm probably still gonna try it because their white's really nice. Like, really nice.
Yeah, I've got their white. It is really nice.
Yeah. So my kind of goal is to just have a very, very fancy looking army. I'm really happy with how it's going so far. I'm not happy about the concept of having to freehand the blood drop and batwing on 6 more bikes in black as well, so it's going to be slightly different. But I'll probably try and do it.
Good luck.
Things at the end of the day, at this moment, I'm still in the I can just not do it, other than the fact that I've mentioned it, so people just annoy me to do it.
I'm going to annoy you to do it because I think it'll look amazing.
Yeah,
and
I
wanna
think
beat
Sam
them.
will as well. And the thing that I had slightly realised is the Blood Angel transfer sheet has blood drops on it, and I probably could have just transferred the blood drop instead of freehanding it.
At least
It
started.
probably would have been.
The problem there is the blood drop is the easiest part to freehand.
It's actually not. It really isn't.
It's not. All right.
Especially on the first side I did, it took me about half an hour to get the outline of the blood drop to where I was happy with it.
It is getting it like symmetrical.
Yeah, you've got to get it symmetrical, and you've got to make sure it's not too fat at the bottom. It comes to a nice point at the top. I believe I tried to get it as a slight curve on the top sort of part. And I did that. It just took half an hour. I thought, oh, that was the bloody easy part. So I went to do the batwing. I did just a hint if you've never tried freehand. If you're doing something fancy, is to dot the apex points of a design to try and sort of give yourself a guiding point. And so I dotted out sort of the tips of each of the membrane, sketched it out, and I did it in like 5 minutes, and it just worked. I had a little bit more issue with the other one because it was either a chunky one or it'd been to the gym. But
A question from the chat for you, Karen. Is this an entirely Primaris force?
Technically not. It's got 15 Sanguinary Guard, which are not Primaris. And it's got 2 Contemptors and Dreadnought drop pods, which are their vehicles of a sort of middle ground, but then the rest of it's all Primaris. But it's kind of, I think everyone is being forced into a much more Primaris heavy force.
Yeah, with all the new options for them as well, I don't see why you wouldn't.
It's not because of the new options, Ryan. It's because they made all the old options for Old Marine shit.
That too, but...
Oh, I'd like drop pods with my Iron Hands.
Yeah, the thing is, if I was to play Iron Hands, I would probably end up using 2 multi-melted Devastator squads in drop pods instead of Eradicators. Because it would work really well. Yeah.
Why is that better for Iron Hands than Eradicators? Oh, because they're not heavy.
Because first turn, you
drop them in on the first turn. You don't suffer a penalty from the heavy, and you're firing from each squad. You're firing 6 shots hitting on 3s and 4 shots hitting on 2s at strength 8 -4 d6 +2 damage if you're in mark range.
That's me.
Rerolling ones.
Rerolling ones. And you can have 2 squads in a drop pod for about 420 points.
Ew. Okay, yeah.
And you'll muller a knight with that easily.
Unless
That's
bad
kind of-
rolling aside.
If I was,
You'd have to have some serious bad rolling.
So
if we
I
had
wouldn't be able to
tournaments
kill
and things,
them.
I would be all over that.
Especially since I was kind of expecting Eradicators to have a bit more of a nerf than they actually got. But they might do in the future. I don't understand why they have their shoot twice and aggressors lost it. So I expect that's going to go on their next codex when it's released next month.
But when we still can't game anyway.
Yep. I can. With myself.
Do you like playing with yourself?
I do. It gets me active.
It's the only exercise he gets nowadays.
Excuse me. I'm currently doing a like one of those rubber band exercise routines.
Are you supposed to be doing this
What?
podcast?
What, making a rubber band ball?
No, not currently at this minute. But yeah, it is.
A rubber band.
It's like you get those stretch bands, resistance cords.
Oh,
That's what they're
right,
called.
yeah, resistance band. Right, got you.
Yeah. To keep myself active.
Hmm.
And it's to fulfill the original plan. Because I just realised we're an hour and 15 minutes in and I've not mentioned my good friend Sam.
How dare you?
But the original... We were joking. I think Ryan was actually... You were definitely involved in the plan, but I can't remember if you were actually there. But we were saying how we wanted to... I mean, me and Sam was... I think it was just me and Sam saying we wanted to try and... Sam would work out. I'd pretend to work out. You'd do absolutely nothing, and we'd turn up at the next GT wearing vests, like Stephen from Vanguard Tactics. So Sam would actually... He'd look like a twat because he's wearing a vest,
But
but he
fill
would
it.
still have the physique for the vest.
Mm.
I'd be wearing a vest with
And
an
you always look like
outline
a
of
twat.
a singular muscle, and then Ryan would wear a vest, and would just be taking the mick.
He'd be taking the mick out of anyway, even if
As
he
long
did.
As long as they had Titan Uranus branded vest.
Of course it would be. What other vest? It's unless we all got Vanguard Tactics vests. But do you think you might realise?
Maybe.
Oh, it was Sam keeps getting emails from it because I think he must have signed up for it. And we were talking about it one day because he said he does a online learn to be better at Warhammer 40k course,
No, right.
and we're kind of laughing about how Sam seems to think he's being stalked by him because he keeps getting tons and tons of emails from it. And then Sam sent me a message saying, like, a little bit later, and it was a screenshot of, I think it was the first. It was either the first or second. It was either the first GT I went to or the GT finals for that year, and it was the rankings. And I didn't know this because I didn't even know who Stephen was for ages. I still don't particularly know. I just know he does Vanguard Tactics, and he does this sort of school for competitive play. And on these rankings, there's me at like 10th and Stephen at 11th. And so either in my first or second tournament, I did better than him. So that's all that matters in my eyes. And yeah, we'll get Titan Uranus branded vests. And because this was a while ago, before I even started going to ICC tournaments with Nick and Johnny, before me and Adam started doing this. So we all just need to wear vests.
That's not happening.
I think it is.
No, I disagree.
Adam would start flowing out the side of them.
It's a bit rude.
Just
You
because
can
I'm a
make it.
fat cunt doesn't mean I'm not a prick.
Would you feel more comfortable if we bought you a t-shirt and cut the sleeves off?
No. No. You're a cunt, Ryan, and I fucking hate you. I'm revoking your privileges as admin.
Worth it.
Anyway, Warhammer. I will try it for once. It's me trying to bring us back on topic.
This is the first.
Was there a topic?
Right, so we've been through everyone's individual army plans.
Yeah.
The agenda.
What other stuff we're planning on doing in the future?
Okay.
As Team Titan Uranus. Specifically.
Oh,
Well,
right.
within reason.
Oh, so not leaving my house eventually.
I was going to have a dump.
Yeah, so I think sort of.
Okay, so as Team Titan Uranus, I was planning on having a shit.
No, that's not how you're supposed to do it.
We'll all be there. Supporting him.
Cheerleaders.
It's a motivational speech. You just drop it like that.
vests and short skirts.
SHIT, take a dump and do a pee.
You've got to roll off for it.
See, that is the skill level of Ryan.
What, is taking a dump?
Never shit itself.
Oh, thank you. I will have you know, I have a trophy for my participation in the last tournament.
I think that says it all.
The wooden spoon!
Not the point, it's still a trophy.
That I expertly made with my own 2 hands. I also have a golden mallet from that. That is probably just going to get reused. Because I didn't want it. I didn't want to win it. I wanted to win the tournament, but I didn't want to win my own trophy because it feels like a pity trophy. Which, to be fair, when you look at all the context, isn't entirely untrue.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a fuck you, Karen.
We all said it in our heads.
Yeah. Right, so the future. One of the major things we've been talking quite a bit about, I mean, pretty much since we started this, is we wanted to try and see if we could film and upload battle reports.
Yes.
Given the current world environment, it's a little bit difficult. However,
Yeah.
At the moment, yeah.
However,
It
we
gives
can
us
we
time
can
to
look into the technical workings, because obviously I have a board and terrain that we can use to actually play on. I have a camera that works, a smartphone camera, but it works.
I have a better camera that is better.
this isn't a fucking
Yeah,
dick
look at
measuring
me, Mr.
contest.
Fancy Pants. I've got
Put
a better camera than you.
Put your penis and your tape measure away, Ryan, and get on with it.
You realise Ryan's tape measure only measures in inches, so it's not exactly an appropriate unit of measurement for his pin needle.
No.
So yeah, we're planning on doing it. We're going to try and sort that out when we can. There'll be a video explaining a lot of this, but Adam had come up with a quite interesting idea, which we might try, which is to try and do very short, comedic style codex reviews.
Okay.
A la zero punctuation is probably the best
Yeah.
example to provide.
Yes, so like speed reading kind of thing.
So sort of speed reading. And
High comedy,
feel-
low actual content, but still gives the intent.
And I feel like Adam had the intention of me doing it.
Well,
Yeah, that makes sense.
you being the voice, I don't mind throwing the editing together.
Yeah. I feel like it's because of my overall negative attitude towards
Everything.
most things. Because one of the examples he used is like when you review the Sisters of Battle Codex, and I go, no, and then it just ends. That is a whole review of the Sisters of Battle Codex.
No, that fade to black. Fine, if I must, and then shit all over it, and then put it
If
away.
only we had the budget so you could tear up the codex.
Well,
I mean, we
we've
could
got
print a
digital
version
editions.
out.
Well, the
Now
thing
I want
is,
you to tear up an actual codex.
you realise the issue is if we're
I
doing
also
this,
don't
it
think
means that
Karen's
we've got-
probably strong enough to tear her path through a hardback.
Is he strong enough to tear through a sheet of paper?
One sec.
Quickly finding piece of paper.
Right, I'll be back in like 1 minute.
I do wonder what he's going to do. But yeah,
I
that
hope
was.
he doesn't
Probably
die
gets
on the
a piece of
way.
paper. Or he'd have to get a codex to rip. Yeah, I'm sure he's got an old one he could probably rip.
Probably. But yeah, that was my sort of. It was. We're talking about stuff. We're talking about sort of getting development for the future. As you can see above our lovely heads, there are various socials. Go check them all out. The
Yeah, I'm
YouTube
working
and the.
on all of
Yeah, you're
those
sorting out the Discord.
slowly.
But yeah, so the plan is for the YouTube channel eventually, as and when and or if that comes to fruition, to start just getting content on there, be that battle reports, comedic content, little skits, proper reviews of everything, list reviews, user submitted stuff. There's a lot of content ideas flowing around that we just kind of need to do.
Right,
What we need
I'm back.
to do is get to a point where we're actually allowed to
Meet
see
up
each
again.
other,
Yeah, that would be nice.
so that we can start this stuff. That's
There's-
all we're waiting on, really.
There's plenty of plans in the works. Whether we
Ah!
actually
I can.
do them. What have you just
Was that
done?
Let me guess,
So
you
the-
went and got an old codex and ripped it up.
It sounded like you had
Yeah.
a bowel movement.
Yeah, I got that right.
That's actually quite a shame. I got the. Oh, to be fair, it's actually quite therapeutic.
What? Which one was it?
The 6th edition Tyranids Codex.
Nice.
I forgot how awful this book was. So, that pleases me greatly.
Well, now you have a ruined Tyranid Codex.
From 6th edition, it's also the small format one,
Oh, the A5 one. I liked
Yeah.
them. I liked those.
I forgot they
It was.
existed.
and it was a really nice book, which is why I'm slightly upset. As in the quality of the book.
Yeah, the quality of the book was really good. The content was shit. But...
I mean, that was on you to go do this. We never encouraged it.
You knew what you were doing.
you challenged him. You
I don't-
openly challenged him.
Challenged him. I mean, he is challenged,
If you tell-
sure, but
Yeah. You tell him he can't do something, he's gonna do it.
I'll try at least.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm slightly disappointed we haven't got a video of it.
There's a picture.
We've got a picture of it in
Evidence.
half now.
Do we?
Okay,
Oh,
so
Yeah.
do we have the budget for
To be
a
fair,
Sister the Battle Codex when it comes out, so you can rip up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
rips it down
Well,
the
if it-
spine.
well, when you say rip a book in half,
You
no
rip it
one
down the
thinks
spine,
you
yeah.
mean rip it down the other way.
Yeah.
You can't do that way.
Oh dear.
Well, you've got until lockdown's over, you better get to start working on those arms.
Well, he's got his elastic bands to go and work out with, so he'll be able to do it by then.
Oh, Joe's here.
Ah!
Super Glue is here. Maybe you can put that box back together for you.
Not anymore, I don't think.
Oh god, what have you done to it now? That is.
He's probably had an accident or got scissors out.
I've hurt my wrist. If you look at it, if you look at the picture, you could tell I have not got scissors out.
Oh, for God's sake, Karen.
The thing is,
That's
I'd
a
like
very
to point
good
out.
effort.
These
The
are
thing I'd
going.
like to
I'm
point
impressed.
out.
You're gonna have to put
You did
these.
better than I
Yeah.
expected you to.
When I originally ripped it in half, I made sure I ripped it in half at like the rules and the fluff part, so I could keep the fluff part because that always changes. And when Nick, knowing full well I was going to try and rip it half the other way, I didn't think, so I ripped the fluff section in half.
Oh no.
Oh, well, it's okay. Okay, Joe's gonna come fix it with some super glue. His hands are gonna come attached to it as well, but it'll be fine. It'll still be readable.
So all I have left.
Bad
Have your
bits.
memories.
No, one sec. I think it's bad news, people. I feel like I may have ripped the Pyrovore page in half.
Oh no!
Not Pyrovore.
Most important unit.
It's very hard. I'm having to check through the book, going through both half pages. I have no, I don't think I have. I think we're good. Unless Pyrovore's won't even. Of course, Pyrovore's in this book. So our next giveaway is going to be a Tyranid Codex in 3 parts.
This is a, wait. If we were to sell it on eBay, it would be pro ripped,
Slightly used.
slightly used pro ripped codex.
Battle scarred.
Well, Joe, it all started with an idea to rip up a Sister the Battle Codex on video, and we told Karen he couldn't do it, and obviously
So he went and found a codex and decided to try
the
and prove
king of
us wrong.
arrogance himself just couldn't take the knowledge that we didn't believe in him.
Yeah, but it was when Nick came out with, "Oh, you ripped it down the spine," as if everyone else would immediately assume by ripping half he meant rip the other way, and then I couldn't let that stand.
I mean, to
so-
be fair, you did only prove it with half.
That goes the other half.
I'll be back in a minute.
Put the pictures up. We need to put the pictures up on the group. It's got to go up on
They'll
the
go
page.
up on social media after the show.
Yeah, I'll slap him up now.
Though saying that, we are probably coming to a somewhat unreasonable conclusion.
Very, very quickly to end on. The thing is, for this codex review, we're probably going to have the codexes themselves.
Not necessarily, as long as we've got access to the important content to write a script. Because the rest of it beyond that, we can do via really crap animation if we want.
Brings if we
Or
were
you
to
can
have
act
to buy it,
out
because
all
of a
the-
new. We'll find someone who just wants the digital edition. Get them to buy it. Let us have the real thing. Sorted.
Yeah, sure, that works.
Do you reckon or hopefully the Sisters of Battlecoats will be last? We'll accrue such an amazing YouTube following that we can get
A review copy.
a review copy. And
Somehow
we'll
I don't
set it
think-
on fire.
I don't think we'd get another review copy of anything ever again.
Worth it.
I mean, I think we would.
I mean, yeah, I don't see what the problem is. If Games Workshop inquire into it, we just say we didn't burn the real thing, we burnt something else. Bible or something.
Bible.
Oh.
And at that point, all
The-
minor bits of sanity I have left are slipped away.
yeah.
So,
that sounds
thank
like
you
a-
for joining us for the first show of the new year.
Very eventful.
Been enjoyable. So yeah,
We'll hopefully see you next week.
all being well, ta-ra.
It's now for the outro song.
Oh no, what have you got?